No, shit. Doesn't really matter to say that. Okay, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing okay. Just getting the main stuff set up at the moment. All right. That's weird. All right. There we go. All right. Yes. No. So, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Trying to get my brain organized at the moment. Sorry. Right, so that means that. There we go. Oh, right. God damn. So, we're really rough on this. I think I left off when I was doing weapon rework stuff, right? So, where did we leave off of it? So there's a couple of things I do want to try and work on, but I'm not making them urgent. I mean, at the moment I'm working on non-urgent, non-essential tasks, right? That's the idea. So, yeah, I did the cleanup that we needed for this. It's all hunky-dory and working. There's some, again, tweaks I need to do across the board for it, but things will be sorted when they're sorted. Now, one other thing I did was I also handle enemy creation very differently. And I'm going to finish up some of that functionality today. Because what we used to do is, for example, see this? This is our main enemy, and then that would be an enemy unit parent, and then that would be an enemy parent. Currently, we are now, we go to enemy controller. Instead of doing it that way, I am now, mind you, this is going to get changed still as well, doing this. So the object, which in this case is O enemy unit parent. So technically this isn't even used anymore. This O enemy sliming. We are now taking the unit parent and we're directly creating it out of that with the sprite and all of the details that we'd need. I actually feel really, really happy with this. Came out relatively well. So yeah, it's enemy struct here. This is their values getting put in, some of which are arrays, specifically health and damage, because I need to be allowed to attune their multipliers. And then, yeah, set scale enemy. This is what actually uses said multipliers if they're available. Otherwise, yeah, they're just getting put in. I'm actually really, really, really happy with this. So, I want to stress, there's an argument to be made, for example, with armor and speed, they don't really need to go through the stat scaler, but it means that if I want to change my mind later, it's faster. What needs to be changed at this point is experience value, which that'll be easy because I just need to go here. Oh, sorry, here. And this is the thing. So I'll need to add a minutes multiplier. I don't think I add a level multiplier to it. I think we just add a minutes multiplier. Which, yeah, that's the other thing, is that now damage and health of enemies scale with player level as well. That's the benefit that we have. Now, there's still a couple of little fringe problems that I'm trying to sort out while I'm doing these, keeping an eye on them. But I also rescaled the cameras as well a little bit, because I was kind of thinking about it, and I felt that the player was too big in the main the game room, but not in the lobby. The lobby felt unnecessarily like zoomed out. I found as well that the closer I have it zoomed in, the less this like these pixel textures and stuff like that do the weirdness. It's still kind of doing the weirdness, but it's a little less. So I'm going to play around with that some more and see what I can do as an answer as to fixing that. Because I think I know what's happening is that, like, if you see here, the pixel length is this, whereas when it's at a specific render angle, kind of, in a sense, it needs to render them more because the pixel size is just not quite, it's kind of in between, right? So it's 1 pixel or 2 pixels as an example in this case. I don't think it's quite that much, but like, it's basically this is 1 pixel, this is 2 pixel, and because of where you are, it can change between them, so it's flickering between those 2 points. Anyway, if we go into the thing, you'll see that now the player is a little bit more like smaller in a sense. I've also done something that's kind of fun that I will show as well. That required a stupid bit of research session. I still don't understand this bug. There's just an enemy almost always that will spawn just without a texture. I've yet to figure that out. I will endeavor to try and figure it out because it's just not good. But yeah, with the game's feeling a lot better now. So right now this is actually using the new weapon system, so technically the damage is not actually getting removed anymore on the Iron Mike. It is just having a trigger cooldown, which is obviously makes way more sense than removing the damage and all that. But it's using our system that we've talked about in the past, and it's working pretty cleanly. Now you'll also notice that, so once I use this, poof, we're gonna level up a bunch, yada yada yada. You'll also see that the cooldowns are no longer like instant. This is the system that I have had in place for ages, and you keep seeing me scroll past it, but I thought I would finally actually tick it in. Yeah, this is the actual cooldown for the EXs. They're now implemented into the game. So this is where balancing actually does start coming to being like the first thing in my mind, is how strong are you getting? How fast are you getting strong? Is this matching the speed that I kind of want the game to follow? Like, I would argue, in a sense, the amount of spawns is still, I think, a little too high, but it's also because they're not diverse spawns. that I think that's the case. I think I need to very heavily consider getting different enemies in, which I've thought about in the past. Hey, EX is ready. But yes, we are we're doing incredibly well with everything so far. There's a couple of things that I still want to just get ticked off, but they're not probably priorities for the next update. There's also a couple of changes I've made to, for example, you'll see Kason looks slightly different now. She's now following the hairstyle that her normal model uses, because she did have a different model for a little bit of time, and that was when I did it, because it was almost implied that might be her changed model. So I went with that, but then I decided, looking at how she's kind of sticked with her old model-esque with the new model a little bit, I kind of did a hybridization. Now we've got this. I like this quite a bit. Comes out well. And then finally, Booby has a run animation. I know he's not got his tail. I will sort that out at some point, but he's got a run animation. Minecraft is surprisingly realistic, making it so not sleeping too long makes flying demons attack you. Yeah. But yeah, no, so now everyone's got their most basic sense of what they will probably have for everything. Oh, I wonder if I can suggest that change. That might be interesting. I'm gonna see about something. I'm gonna write it down. Okay, there we go. That was a change. It was just, again, little changes at this point. But yeah, so a couple of things have not been changed to fix or work with the new changes that I've just done. But that's, again, that's what we're here to do, right? So, whoops. So what is it actually called again? It is value EXP. Oops. Yeah. Then the time multiplier is experience value time. I think we have experience multipliers applied on pickup, not on drop. I'm pretty sure, which I think's the safer option. I would need to find that though. Is it in? Actually, where is experience handled still? It's here. Pickup. Is there a? Yeah, here we go. Yes, experience multiplier is applied on pickup, not on drop. I need to keep that in mind. I need to stop pressing. I'm pressing Control Shift S because I've been working in Unreal, and that's the way you save all of your things at the same time. God, I hate working Unreal. Unreal is a awful, awful program. One at the moment. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, I've really not been enjoying working with Unreal. It is such an unpleasant experience. Because to explain what I'm working on at the moment, so this is for an assignment. I am working on an AI, basically AI, right? Like, it needs to be, off the top of my head, the requirements are like, it needs to maybe have some, has to demonstrate at least one key style of doing AI. So like, fuzzy logic or branching, things, state machine, yada yada yada, right? It's got all of those sorts of things it needs to do. I fucked around last night, and that was the most work yesterday is the most work I've done on the AI project so far. I'm pretty sure if I just did some cleanup, I could submit it and probably get a fucking B-. And like, it's not even good code. But like, I've got an enumerator in there which should classify as a state system, a finite state system, because it's used for telling it if what to do if it's patrolling. So, for example, it will be able to decide if it goes, if it loops, if it gets to the final point, then goes back to the first point, and then kind of reverses the order, or if it just does nothing at the end and it freezes at the final spot. And it's just a checkbox that I can set. So that should be that, and then yeah, it's got a blackboard system and everything to it. It's really fucking annoying, and I hate. Okay, my big gripe with Unreal is the same gripe I had with a lot of programming languages. In fact, Game Maker actually has this issue, but I can choose not to use it, which is visual languages. I hate visual languages. So what do I mean by a visual language? So you might go, well, is this a visual language? No, this is not a visual language, what you see here. A visual language, if we go here, because we're going to be deleting this object anyway, is this. Yeah, it's not going to translate correctly, but it's basically assign a variable, drag and drop. Sort of thing. I fucking despise this. I absolutely hate visual languages nowadays. They do not do my brain well. So, take that as you will. I'm going to put enemy unit in here. And I'm going to change this from enemies, rename to enemy units. Fuck, I did it again. At least I don't have to constantly compile as well on this. That's kind of nice. But if... Right. So one issue that I was seeing with this, and I want to kind of discuss it here and see if anyone's got any ideas or their thoughts towards it, and if they've got any ideas if they would change it. So at the moment, you can't see it really well with Iron Mouse, but we'll kind of just go in here. Collision. So we've worked really hard on getting the collision stuff done previously, right? So if some fucking enemies would spawn, I really need to set up some better debug tools. You can see that it works pretty well. This dude's not getting hit because he's slightly outside of the circle. When you're kind of on the edge, it'll hit and collide, right? But it respects the circle pretty okay. Not amazingly. I can't even remember if it's actually set up correctly or not, but we'll see. Point is, let's go back to Kason, which has been the character I use a lot for debugging and testing. As you can see as well, I sped up the animation of her weapon. It looks way nicer now. I need to do a massive pass on so many weapons right now, by the way, because there's so many of them that feel so bad now. This one, I want people's thoughts on seeing how this hits and seeing if it feels right. So tell me if it looks correct with what it's hitting. Keeping in mind that this will only hit a target once per cast. Because to me, I don't know if I quite like it. So I can explain what is occurring very easily, but I'm just kind of showing it off for now. So yeah, what is the thoughts on that? Because so what has happened with the collision? And this was what it was before. It was just not as obvious because there was normally too much going on to be able to pinpoint it. Is that it is using this. So it's actually a rectangle that it's attacking in. I do not actually use precise collision. I use two types of collision. I use eclipse, which is what we saw with the Iron Mice one, the Iron Mic one that Iron Mouse has, and rectangle, which is used in pretty much every other case. Very few do not use rectangle. Only a handful use eclipse. Or ellipse, sorry. Now, technically speaking, the ellipse one's actually pretty good because what it's doing is it's drawing the points and it's drawing this, kind of that circular shape of it. So, get out a trusty old paint. So what's happening is that with the rectangle one, it is taking the bounding box points like this, and then it's drawing that as a rectangle. The ellipse one is taking these points and then it's generating a, well, slightly better than that, but a kind of a circular shape because it's an ellipse. Based on that. So what happens when you've got a slash that's kind of a crescent shape like this? Well, depending on the angle, it can differ quite a lot. With Sakura Storm, for example, it actually has a tail part that starts here and then it travels all the way around the player. That's kind of what it's actually doing. So this is why it actually can hit enemies back here. But you can't see that part. Yeah, it can hit enemies back here because the collision box can reach there. So it begs a few questions as to whether or not I might need to do something to this or not. Let me know thoughts, especially once this comes to the next update, because between next update and a alpha release, a lot of these systems need to kind of be locked in and not be getting reworked anymore. Because if I rework these underlying systems too much moving forward, it could potentially throw more wrenches into the system and people might not be able to transition with those changes all that well. I'm not against doing it if the issue is substantial enough, but if it's also like, I don't mind and that's the majority opinion, then I will leave it alone. But if the majority opinion is, no, this is wrong, there needs to be something done, then I will try and find some answer. But yes, the weapon system is working pretty cleanly at this point. I'm actually really chuffed with it. If we go to the weapons parent, I don't know how much of this I've actually shown, but yeah, so this is all of the time systems that would need for it. It's working really well. I'm really happy with that so far. So that was what I spent like most of last week doing instead of assignment work in some regards. I did do some assignment work, I just worked on this more than I should have. Because I was like really energetic towards it. But yeah, so if anyone's got any opinions towards that aspect, and if you've got an opinion that is against what it currently is, any suggestions on fixes would be appreciated. Because I don't know, like, it's one of those ones where I feel fine either way with it, and I do not know what I want as the answer. So I will leave it up to not me to decide. Again, it's something I'm willing to change if people think it needs to be changed, but otherwise, yeah. So other than that, honestly, there's not actually much that I'm doing at this stage. In terms of programming and cleanup, because we've actually done so much at this point. So kind of want to try and figure out why that one dude doesn't render correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have draw text. And we're going to have would sprite index give me what I want? No, right? We'll see. Ref sprite 37, cool. And that's just not getting a thing. Cool, that actually tells me quite a bit. So what we might need to do is set sprite hold variable. And then have the enemy parent step God, that is an old debug message in there, huh? So we need to do is that enough to fix it? Or is this going to cause a problem? Don't see the lonely shadow. Okay, so that leaves me wanting to check one thing. So I'm going to force level a few times. We're looking specifically for idle song. Yep, seems fine. Cool. All right. Nice little there we go. So yeah, this is the little fix that we do for that, and if we see it again, then we know that this didn't work, but for now it looks like it did. And yes, by the way, I want to point out, no, there is no sprite hold variable in its create or in its variable definitions. This is the fun part about this stuff, is I technically don't need jack shit as long as I use this correctly, because this does it all for me. This is actually getting, so what it's doing is with this, it is creating, it is this equals this. If this doesn't exist, it's creating this. This is the benefit of creating the objects this way, is I can actually have my objects emptier and work off of it this way. So yeah, I can actually clean up so much of this now. One of the best examples is this can go, this can go, this can go, this can go, and this can go. So I've just increased readability by a substantial amount. This is the point of what we're working on. This is why I really want to keep designing things like this, because this is actually making things so much easier on me. So I'm pretty sure I run now, we shouldn't have any issues, because all of those variables are set inside of the creation. Well, we might have some issues with bosses, but like bosses need to have this treatment as well at some point. Oh no, we do have a little fake out dude still. Okay. So this didn't work. So there's another option I have, and it's an option I don't like the idea of, because it feels really shit to the player, because the player's never going to realize this, but it's going to just not be a cool thing to do. Yeah, okay, I think I know why we're not seeing it in this situation. I'm going to end run. We're going to go here. We'll see what happens. If I don't move, does it turn up? It's inconsistent. And that's the problem. Because I don't know how to track it. Because I don't think I've changed anything. Because if I know the causal effect, like what is causing it, then I can work with it. But it's so irregular that it's like, again, niche cases are really fucking annoying. I'm wondering if it's because the enemy is getting spawned too early on the creation side of things. So, like, the thing gets built, everything gets set up, but the things haven't been fully set yet. So it's using a lot of default. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I actually went and hit that invisible one, it may have crashed the game. Let's see, because if it's a first time setup thing. In this case then. We won't move after having launched the game. If it turns up here, then I will know it is a first time load issue. If I hit this and it crashes, no. Think I killed it there. Okay. What if we have something similar to this? Not moving gives us a fairly good odds of it. And if it comes up with nothing, that's going to tell me something. It's not coming up with anything. So it's failing its events. So my immediate response to this is I need to delay spawning. Yeah, I need a delay spawning is the short answer. Keep in mind as well, I could move this away from alarms and I could turn these into time sources and that would probably be better. Should we do that? Yeah, I think it's about time we do that. Because I would have probably more control over these if they were time sources. In the way that I've set up the project. Keep in mind, the difference between an alarm and a time source is pretty much nothing. The difference is that this project is set up with time sources in mind. So there is a lot of systems in place that I have to handle time sourcing. So... Because a lot of these should have just been split up into functions at this point. Do I make it the index? Yeah, we make it enemy index. Or do... wait. No, we don't. Because if we do this... let me just do this for a moment. There's a lot of changes that I'm going to make to this, but this is what we'll do for the moment. Okay, let's test this out. Again, we're slowly going to transition this all into functionality, and then we're going to move over to it all being time sourced once we have the guarantee that the functions work. But yeah, so function works perfectly fine. Don't see any issues there. Seems to be working as it was before, which is already great. Don't they have a boss object above them? Enemy boss parent. Because, so reasoning for this, by the way, is so if it's, if this is less than or equal to 100, it'll do this, otherwise it won't, so no more than 100 things are spawning at this point. However, the enemy boss technically would count, because it's an enemy, it comes under enemy parent, so why not just minus it, and then it's fine. Because I don't see a reason why the boss should have to count to the enemies being spawned. Now, this number can be played with all sorts of ways. We'll see how it goes, but point is, got that working. Cool. I can remove that now that I've guaranteed it. So... Because what's also kind of good with this is now I can differentiate things up. So when I do add different things, I could have, say, a time source that's, or a function that's basically wave 1. And it will figure out all of the spawnings that need to be done around it. So... that means that it will spawn this, and it might also spawn something else, and I can make it rarer or more common because I've got repetitions under control. There's a lot of other things that I can also augment. This is one that I will probably make augmentable. It'll be towards repeats and then like the scaling off of thing, and then I might have a toggle to see if it even gets scaled with the modifier spawn rate, because what if I want something that doesn't get affected by that? I'm also trying to consider, because the problem I have is that I kind of hate this. I do not like how this works at all. But I don't see how I change it. So I think I'm just going to make it as a script for now. We'll just leave it at this for now. I'm not going to bother doing too much with this because, again, this is one that I really would like to rework. So I'm going to just do this poll. Oh. I missed something. What? Ew. Messy old code of mine. Okay. I don't need to test that, do I? It's gonna function exactly how it should. There's no potential room for issues there. Only if it's called somewhere incorrectly, which it shouldn't be. Yeah. I'm also not too fussed about what I get done today, by the way. I should mention this because we are doing another development stream tomorrow, and it's probably going to be a little bit more nitty-gritty working on some stuff. Because today is the 2-hour one. It's kind of like more of an update today, talking about like what I did over the last week when I was off stream. And yeah, no, I got, God, there was so much progress I managed to get on this. It's actually incredible how much better this game is now. In terms of behind the scenes especially, and the fact that now I can start... I feel like I can consider doing balance overhauls, which is something I have not considered before. Like, oh, this weapon's now moving too slow, this weapon's moving too fast, this weapon's not dealing enough damage. Because before, everything did like infinity damage comparative to what it is now, and it is noticeable, the changes. So that's where, like, again, I have to stress, please once this update comes out, please let me know what you think, what weapons feel strong, what weapons don't, because at this stage I don't think there's many weapons I think are too strong, but I do definitely think there is weapons that are too weak, and that's the big change. I'm also wondering if I might be able to sneak in, depending on how things go, I might be able to sneak in another character before the update comes live. It will all depend on how quickly I get these assignments done. If I can get 2 done effectively this week before the weekend really settles in, taking in consideration I've got a couple of other things I need to work on, then yeah. But if this weekend ends up being assignment in hellhole like I'm assuming it might be, then there's a low chance, because I have 3 assignments I'm working on at the moment. One of which is the AI one, and that's pretty far along. Another one's the threads one, which should be relatively straightforward and workable. And then I've got another one which is due the week after next, because all of those 2 are due next week. Then I've got another one that's due the week after, and that one should be pretty linear as well. Like, it's not that any of them are difficult per se, it's just they're time consuming. Programming takes a lot of time because you need to also develop, design, and debug, which is a lot of time that goes into that. Then I need to do the cleanup afterwards. Okay. Because yeah, so the changes here are going to be stuff that I think will be a progressive work through, right? Alright. It's interesting to think about though, because it's so with these, I guess I should put as infinite time sources or infinite looping, but just make them conditional. I don't know, we'll see. Like I plan on making, so at the moment this is enemy list. I should make this to enemy unit list. Just cause this is going to be where I put enemy units. I believe it's an initialization, is it not? And this needs to be changed at some point. Well, I mean, I was might as well change it now. Enemy. Actually, we're gonna do this the smart way because I still have this up. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Kind of just want to play the game for a little bit, I'll be honest. Who do I want to play as? Plays Aura. Because she reminds me there's one thing I still need to do. Which is, off-screen EXP handling. God, she... Okay, I need to double check the math behind how she works because I still think it's off. Because this seems a little too good still. Don't get me wrong, I want her to be one of the banner characters, so she has to be good. But I do think she's a little too good. Because I should not be able to spam an EX that's this potent. Don't get me wrong, she has her weaknesses. Just clicked one randomly. She has her weaknesses, which is intended, but she's definitely stronger than she's supposed to be with it. Oh, yeah, no, there's... That's way, way too quick. Is it 6 when I get the range slash? Yeah, it's because it's when you double slash is when you get it. The hell is there 7 for it again? I gotta fix that slash visual at some point. Still looks so trash. Oh, that's right, the wave gets way faster. Does way more damage. Oh god, that's another one that I need to work on is fucking Juniper. So much about Juniper. What was it? No, it's the baby moth. I need to work on baby moth at some point and the echo effects for weapons. Oh, they've now actually outscaled the damage for that. Oh, hello. Oh, this would be the boss spawning. Yeah, I said the boss would crash. It's because I don't spawn them correctly anymore. I need to actually work on them. The bosses are going to get a massive update soon. There's a UI element I want to get done for them, but that's something that, like, there's 2 major... Is it only 2? There's only 2 major UI elements I want to really introduce after this update that I can think of at the moment, and I would prefer them to be done after the current update. Because the next update's gonna, again, so... If we pull up paint, what needs to be done in the next major update? Because this is what it's like comes down to at the moment. So boss overhaul. Just add more enemies. A shop and I mean clean up as well, but like that's kind of just what I'm doing at the moment as well. Also overhaul, add more enemies, shop. Anything else I can think of that are really essential that won't be done in this current iteration? I mean, what is, so we'll put in over here. So this is the list of this is next update. This is kind of just general. Right. So 4 more characters. Because I've decided, yes, I will do 4 more characters. Clean up. What else? I'm actually, this is a very serious question. What needs to be done before, oh, I mean, Steam support stuff, because there's a few things I need to do on my end to enable some, like, just general stuff with Steam. I mean, visual improvements, but that's kind of what I was working on as well at the moment, so that's why I'm just putting it there. Because there are still some weapons that were drawn inside of Game Maker in the space of 10 seconds. In fact, one I'm still surprised is like an essential piece, but it's still in the game. You guys want to get a reminder of possibly one of the worst things that I did in like 10 seconds on stream at one point? And that is, it's there every time we load up the game. What is it? It's the fucking arrow. Look at that arrow. That was literally like a 5-second job. We quickly just drew kind of edge and edge, done. Like, looking at the rest of the art around, like, the portal could use an upgrade, the mirror's okay. Once we figure out the pixelation kind of ratio bug, for that stuff, it's cool. I think aura looks beautiful. The shadow looks kind of cool. Yeah, the arrow looks horrendous. I need to do something about that. So and I've already talked about, by the way, the characters that are getting added. I don't think it's gonna be a surprise to anyone. So when those get added, they get added. I'll see if I can sneak at least one of them in for the next update, if not two. Before the final update. For the final update that leads into Alpha. And I know which two are getting done first, by the way, because it's the ones that I've talked about before that have their weapons in-game, and one of them even has their item in-game already. Which that's Rin Penrose and Shy Lily. Yeah, the next two are going to be fun, though. I definitely can't wait to do the next two after that. Those are because it's... Actually, you know what? Let's start... Let's, like, start working on them. I'm gonna open up, like, a fucking Google Doc or something like that. And we start writing shite up for them. Alright, there we go. So, the 4 characters we've got. Oops. Okay, this is where it gets complicated. What do we call... Amelie is Amelie, but like she's also Monarch, right? So I technically the VTuber is Monarch, so we gotta go with Monarch. So this was... I believe it's Gushing Blowhole is the name of the weapon. And then item is Light from the Depths. So those are the only confirmed things at this point. 100% confirmed. Right. So then I've got all my list stuff here next to me. So let's write out let's write out all of Rin's stuff. There we go. Okay, and then no, it was much slower scaling than that. Yes, I'm going to keep referring to it as just currency for now, just because I don't actually have the name for it. I've not locked it a name, so we're just going to call it currency for safety's sake. And I'm going to give it that italicized sort of effect. So again, I'm writing down what I've already got for notes for these characters. These are things that are intended, these are all of the intended things so far. And I thought it'd be fun to do this so you guys get an idea of oops, no, it's the wrong way around. It's but like I'm genuinely almost verbatim writing what my notes have, so you can kind of get an idea what my brain looks like when I'm writing a lot of these things down, more than you already do with how I do my programming. But yes, no, if when it comes to, so Shy Lily has one other ability that I need to write down, and otherwise all of these are pretty open to interpretation, so if anyone's got any ideas on this stuff, please let me know. think this one I don't actually have a name for, from memory. There we go. Okay. That is Rin's kit. Again, hers is pretty much locked in. Don't know how easy that is to read. I could probably zoom in a little bit, make this a bit easier. You know, that's not the best way to do the zoom. How's the best way to do the zoom? It's this one, isn't it? There we go. There you go. So then, don't have a name for this, but we're gonna just say 5 for now. Just do this for the moment, give some numbers. Okay. So... Oh, also, just as a reminder, Light from the Depths. I think we did this on stream, but Light from the Depths now gives armor at levels 4 and 5 of it. Based on missing health. In accordance with what I've suggested in the past. So, since Shiloh is going to be the next one I work on, she's probably the one I should probably focus the most on getting her the pieces done. What would be the rest of her kit? What would be the rest of Shiloh's kit? I feel like right. feel like that's actually a really nice piece for him, and it works with the whole womp womp. It also means that she fascinatingly synergizes with speed in a weird way, which I think's a very weird one. How would I handle some of that? That would actually be the interesting one, is how do I handle that? Because it would have to be an internal cooldown, right? Do that for now, right? Can only occur every 0.3 seconds, because it will just... What will happen is it will be a function that's constantly on a 0.3 second cooldown. And what it will do is it will save the current position. Or save current... Actually, it's because I can't use position because the player's not moving. That's actually really rough. How do I check distance? I'm gonna have to make a variable for distance, aren't I? Distance traveled. Can I? Yeah, I can do that. I can make a distance traveled. Because all I would need to be doing is I would just need to use the magnitude increase. And I could use that for an achievement as well. Like, so far distance traveled in a single run. Write that down, actually. Oops, shit. There we go. What would be... What would be her EX and what would be her assist, though? No, I'm not doing that, but that would be kind of funny. I just thought her assist, because I don't know how I'm going to do the shrines and stuff like that fully yet. Because some of that's going to be changed a bit. I was just wondering, should I make it so they don't show up anywhere easily, but if you use Shy Lily assist, the fucking symbol on her forehead turns up as a fucking map marker for it and points you in the direction of it. That'd be kind of funny. But you know what? That actually sounds like so fucking... It's just so on point, right? Just gonna do that for now. I might need to double check her lore stuff before I make a final judgment on what her EX is going to be. Because there's an idea I have, but I can't remember if that's me potentially thinking of something completely unrelated or not. And it's been some time since I have looked over Shayla Lee's lore. Because like Light from the Depths and Gushing Blowhole was designed when looking at her backstory, when she did her she did a massive overhaul for a lore at one, well, not an overhaul, but she did a lore drop at one point, and I did it then, and I don't think her lore's changed since. I'm just gonna write it as this. It'll probably have a duration, something like that. Or I could always make it a passive assist. That's always something I've considered, is what happens if there's an assist that's just like passively gives you info. Passively does something. It's not probably a bad idea. Means that you potentially lose a lot of agency with the assist, but potentially if it's, and then it needs to be weaker because of that, but like potentially what if it's a, say, it's like the idea of what Womp Womp has, where it's like whenever you move, you deal damage around you, have that as a weak effect. Like imagine having that. That'd be an awesome thing, because it's just constant DPS without using your brain for it. So some people will enjoy that. Some people will go, no, it takes the skill out of the game. It's like, yeah, well, it's not strong. It's just, it's nice to use. Don't use it. Fuck off then. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave her her EX for now. But I think we'll have this as her kit. I do. The more I think about it, I think this is just very fucking touching to have her as her assist. Like it's just on point. So then we've got Cockroach Lady and Monarch, which, so Monarch, I do have some solid stuff for her design. There we go. Don't know what I want to do with the item just yet. I'm just gonna write out the... So one of the abilities is going to be related to that whole fucking Shiego bullshit that happened, right? Right, it's going to be... Shiego. Fucking love that argument. If you haven't seen anything to related to that, there's shorts all over YouTube. It was such a fucking experience. I still remember Twitter that day, that famed day where Monarch's fucking brain snapped. That was a weird time. What would be the best thing for that? Would it be a cooldown? Would it be... It's because I'm thinking it might just be like a small damage and slow effect. I don't know. I think... That sounds weird, but Monarch's kit's probably going to be a lot of... kind of CC and slowness affected to kind of going on. That's why you've got like... stunning and applying a DOT as her main weapon. I kind of want her kit to be... not a fast kill speed, but a wide kill area, if that makes sense. I've kind of always had these sorts of philosophies with them. Like, so Iron Mouse is a wide kill area, but a low kill speed. Again, she's consistent, she's effective, but you look at Kason. She's a very high kill speed, but she has a very low area. So you want stuff to supplement that. So you'll either want more tank and survivability so she can be even more devastating at close range and just maintain that, or you want to give her area effectiveness, which actually slowly is unsynergistic with her. Rin, going back to what we've got here, like Rin's kit is kind of about, again, it's that slow methodical style, right? Well, not slow and methodical, that's very much not what Rin is. But her style is about kind of taking losses and balancing out from it. It's, you've got a fairly weak weapon that has high damage potential when it is actually used correctly and effectively. But the rest of the time, not so much. Right? So... what would be good for Monarch? Because there's got to be more than just one scuff thing, because it's Monarch. There's one idea I've got, and I'm trying to figure out if I want it to be like an ability, an item, or her EX. Because there's a moment that was really fucking funny, and I'll never forget it. and it gave me the idea for an ability sort of thing, and I just never knew what to do past that. Hell, I could even make an argument that the weaponized scuff, this exact as is, could turn into the item, and the other thing could turn into the weapon. If it wasn't for the fact that the reason why I'm looking at ability and EX the most with it is I kind of want it to fit more with Monarch. So again, pointing out the cool things and weaknesses of this game versus like, so Vampire Survivors, there is only technically one element of a character that is actually unique to them, which is their one ability prior to starting the run. Now, some of those are really unique, and then some of them are just gain power, like gain might per level, gain additional amount every few levels. But then you get some that's like, oh, get the ability to nuke the area around you, destroying terrain and gaining max health and size progressively. Or there's all sorts. It's kind of the point. Damn. Because since that situation was so like all over the place and a wild experience, I think that makes sense. I don't know quite the definites on the numbers for that, so that's why I'm just leaving it pretty vague there. But yes, there's a lot of elements to this that I'm not going to deny that there's some things that need to be balanced, even with these ideas. I already know some of these numbers are a little high and some are a little low because of stuff. I just realized I keep saying I'll try and do a run for the next update. I literally can't because the currency system's not going to be in the game. So it will be Mata or Monarch will be alongside Shy Lily coming through. I don't know what I want to call this, but I want to call it skin something claws, right? Yeah, I think I will leave it at that for the moment. So this is where I talk to another aspect of my design stuff that I feel like I've not represented very well in some regards for a while. So if we look at the characters that we currently have in the game, a lot of their passives are fucking absurd. We're looking at Merryweather's is the big example of that, right? With his doing like 3 fairly, I would call them like mid to high impact effects is what his item does. You've got all sorts of them that are just like completely overloaded and do some really fucking wild shit. And then some of them are just stats. Sometimes that's okay. There was actually a very genuine consideration that the Blaha collection and company card should be switched around. However, I decided that I would prefer to give another item eventually that gives more currency as well, because then that means that you're like, oh, well, it's really synergistic with Rin. Like, I really, really want that, but it's also non-essential. Whereas this way, like, where if it was the other way around, that means that that item is the only, like, you're guaranteed it. And it would be the only one I would be printing that would just be a raw improvement of currency gained. So it leaves me space to work on somewhere else. This, you could argue, it's like, well, then you're doing the exact opposite. You're not giving yourself space. It's like, yeah, but that's why, Mara, I kind of want... I originally was going to have a character in the game that was currency and amount focused. No, sorry, currency and pickup range focused. And that character... Yeah. I've decided to forego doing that kind of character for a while. Not because, like, of any actual reason other than, like, I designed that character up in a loose sense, and I look at it now and I'm like, that was boring. Now, I'm deciding to do something with Marta to kind of celebrate her reincarnation. To give her some simplicity to her kit, but also some really cool concepts. So, I'm giving her the amount item. And will I give this an additional lever? Maybe. Maybe just giving you +3 per amount is not that much. But it could be. And that's the part that makes them, like, the important thing. I also want her to be level focused, which is why I was like considering, do I make it so you get 1 amount and then get more amounts per levels or something like that? I'll leave that for now. Maybe we do that as an ability to give her even more potency. What's our lovely cockroach lady gonna do? So, okay, this is where I start doing the things in my head. If we've got a character that's her baseline weapon is melee, but it scales off a mount, and a mount is mostly for projectile and AoE weapons so far, what do I want to give her for abilities? Because it means that... Well, I mean, I gotta give her a revive, right? Like, give her 180. maybe they can scale down a little bit, so it goes like 180, 160, 140. Actually, that seems like nowhere near enough. Gotta go. So it goes from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. That's still such a long period of time. Even if I did this though, this sounds really absurd, having a 60-second res effect. Okay. There we go. There's very particular phrasing there, and that's because of something that I've talked about in the past and am not working on at the moment, but I will work on in the future. I feel like her sis has got to do with something her growing big, right? I know what her sis has got to be though. Have any of y'all played Dota? No? Okay. Well, there's a character called Weaver, and that's... it doesn't matter. Point is, he has an ability that's his Q that I'm kind of mimicking with this, but slightly different. But yeah, no, so it'll just be kind of like this wave in a direction. It'll send out these bugs. It'll slow enemies hit and deal a small amount of damage over time to them. It's not going to be too much, but the point is that it's supposed to just give you some crowd control, targeted crowd control, which would be nice. All I want is for her to get big, because that's kind of like the whole advertisement they did for her. Is she was this just menacing giant cockroach from space. That's not how it's spelled. How do you spell immune again? Oh, I was close. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like Sana's ult from Holocure, right? So this is where I point out, if I was a a better developer in a sense, what I would do, and I hate that I'm saying this, but what I would do is I would have gone through and I would have given her an effect that means that melee weapons have increased area, is what I'm considering. However, I'm not going to be making melee versus range distinctions in the development at this point. In fact, I'm aiming not to try, like, aim to not do that, because that just becomes... It's a, I don't know, like, I want to leave that sort of change till much later if I'm going to do it. My thought process I've made, I feel clear, is simplicity where possible. Because your player's not going to remember everything. So while there might be an icon to indicate melee or range and stuff like that, that's where I actually complain about holocure. Those icons are a memory sink that I cannot, in my experience with other people as well, that nobody really pays attention to those. And like, you look at them and it's like, okay, I'm assuming that's multi-hit, right? The fact that I cannot 100% tell what they are upon looking, and that there's no clear info in the game, is an issue in my eyes. So when you have weapons and stuff like that that are like, oh, well, this deals, what is it, like, he has a chance to deal bonus damage over time when hit with a ranged weapon or a multi-hit weapon or whatever, and it's like, okay, but kind of don't know the weapons well, and I can't look back as well. If I've got a weapon maxed out, I don't fucking know what it is. Is it a ranged weapon? Is it not? I don't know. So it creates a memory situation where it's like I'm punished for not memorizing the Wikipedia, basically. And I don't agree with that, personally. That is I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just a thing I don't personally like. So I'm trying to refrain from that. That is why I'm not doing that at this stage, because I don't have a clear, concise way to guarantee I can clarify this is ranged, this is melee to you, without getting some questionable elements to it and all sorts. I lie. I have a way in my head, but I don't know if it's worth it to do at this stage. What I will do is I will keep in the back of my head, we'll write here a note. So we'll do that. So I've already shown in the past that I'm willing to give items unique synergies with their original owners. This is another example. I actually like that idea. It means that you feel better for having it on the character, but it means I can scale the weapon up higher overall, but then have synergies to work with that and then not have it OP somewhere else. What's a good example of that? I mean, for the most part, most of them have been mostly cosmetic, right? Like Gura and Junipers, both have been cosmetic. I'm pretty sure there's one that I've done that's unique. Point is, I always intend to do more of them if I haven't done them at this stage. Anyway, as we're now head over 10 a.m., I have to actually say au revoir, because we are on a Tuesday and my lecture starts in like less than half an hour. So with that being the case, thank you so much for watching. We'll do programming again tomorrow, so there's a lot more of this to go through and discuss. So I will see y'all next time. Until then though, thank you so much for watching. You're awesome, stay awesome, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye bye.